Welcome into another episode of Outside Shots with my guy, Eddie Johnson. Oh, solo camera off the bat. There you go, Eddie. And I got the flex shorts on. Don't peek.
I got the Titan.
Don't peek. There you go. No, we call them the flex shorts because my guy Flex, sometimes, he wears the baggy shorts sometimes.
He's still back in the freaking 90s.
You got to be careful that
he's still back in the 90s.
You got to make sure you tuck your shorts. Otherwise, people are going to be seeing some stuff that they don't need to be seeing.
Please, what they seeing?
You know what they seeing, Eddie? Come on, man.
They need
Come on now.
They need some
Stop.
binoculars.
Come on, stop now.
They need some binoculars to see
Eddie,
don't make the TV.
Come on now. Your jockstrap ain't nothing but a rubber band and a peanut shell. Come on now. Stop.
Don't stop trying to build that man up. He ain't flowing like that, man. Flex ain't flowing like that. It ain't happening.
Flex, I apologize. I didn't think you were going to catch some strays this early in the morning, but here we are.
See, that's why I wear mine tight.
I feel it. That's why I have to make sure I pull my stuff. So anyway, good to see you, man. It's been a little bit.
The whole show, I need you to refer to me.
Is the king?
Yeah.
Why? No, that belongs to somebody else.
No, I'm the king at what I do. He's the king at what he does.
Why do I need to refer you? No, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I would never do that.
Well, I want you
to. It goes like this, man. It doesn't go like this.
No, well, that's how I do it. I like to do it differently. I'm radical.
That's what the king does. The king does it differently.
He does it like this.
I'm radical. Yeah.
Let's talk about somebody else that's been really, really good of late, and that's the one, the only Devin Booker. He's been fantastic in these Olympics. I think people are starting to finally figure out and see why everyone in Phoenix adores him and feels like he doesn't get the love that he deserves. And it's kind of ironic because for whatever reason, people always want to compare Devin Booker to like a Jason Tatum, two guys that, whose fan bases really love them, but people around the NBA just for whatever reason don't jive with. And you're seeing both of them and you're getting two kind of opposites at this moment. And Devin Booker has been a terrific all-around player. Been very good. He's done everything Team USA has needed. He's scored when he needs to score. He's passed when he needs to pass. His defense has been elite. He's just been a terrific basketball player and a real glue guy for this team so far.
That's what he is, but it's nothing new. I think his dad Melvin obviously has done a great job with him from the standpoint of being a chameleon on the basketball court. And that's what Devin has been in his entire career. If you just look at his entire career, he's had to make adjustments, whether it's from coaches, whether it's from the multitude of teammates he's had, adjusting as a teenager coming into the NBA. He has been in constant transition to where he is right now. And I think people are seeing how tremendous a basketball player he is and not just about scoring the ball. A lot of times people, they'll put the label on you, and some aren't able to get away from it. Like, I'll sit here as an example. I was never able to get away from the fact that, oh, Eddie, you just can score. You can't defend. You can't pass. You can just score. And when you get that label, then that restricts you from, i.e., becoming an all-star, which always came up short because of that mindset.
Yeah.
But some players are able to get through it. And Devin has been able to get through it and get through it in a really big way in regards to, I'm not just a guy that can go score 70 points. No, I'm a guy that can adjust to different teammates. I'm a guy that can help my team get to a finals. I'm a guy that if you ask me to go do something else, I can go do it, i.e., be a better defender. i.e., be a better passer, have to go play point guard. He has run the full gamut. A lot of guys go through their whole career and they pretty much stay in their job description.
Mm-hmm.
He has been able to persevere, and the biggest compliment he can get is what Steve Kerr said, in that, you know, he felt like he can't win if Devin's not on the floor. Yeah, that's huge, right? Yeah. Coming from one, a competitor, but two, a coach that gets it, that's played with tremendous players in his career and has coached tremendous players, to say, even past his own player, Steph Curry, I need Devin on the floor.
Yeah.
Because he's one of our better defenders.
Mm-hmm.
When he say score, he said one of our better defenders.
Yeah.
Like, that right there, I think, has opened the eyes to a lot of people around the country that want to nitpick, that want to criticize. He's a teammate, man. That's what I term him as. He's just a teammate. And he's an unselfish teammate. The Reggie Miller type-esque. Whereas if you look at Reggie Miller's numbers, like, first, Reggie Miller's one of the best teammates I ever had. I didn't like him when I played against him, but he's one of the best teammates I've ever had. But you look at Reggie's numbers, I think his field goal attempts is around 16, 17. He didn't take a lot of shots, but he could have, but he didn't. He celebrated when guys scored. He didn't have an issue with that. And I think Devin has matured into that ilk of, like, you know, I just want to win.
Yeah.
And I think it's shown itself on the biggest stage. This is a world stage that he's on, and people are taking notice.
I don't know Devin Booker personally, but he strikes me as an individual that's not insecure. I think when you're insecure to a certain degree, you get threatened when you see other guys on your team score, and maybe you're not getting the ball as much. I feel like he's always kind of felt like he's been above that kind of stuff. And that's why I feel like a lot of guys around the league are like, I want to play with Devin Booker because I know there won't be drama between me and him. You know what I'm saying? And because it's not like that everywhere you go. You might want to go play with a LeBron. You might want to go play with whoever. And you don't know how they're going to react when you're taking a little bit of the shine or the scoring away or whatever, right? I'm not saying LeBron's in that category. I'm just saying, like, not every NBA player can handle that kind of magnitude of performance from another player on their own team. But Devin Booker is definitely not one of those guys. He definitely embraces it. He'll do whatever needs to be done. He's been playing damn near point guard for the last 2 seasons anyway, trying to make things work. And it came with mixed results. But I think it just proves that he'll do whatever is necessary to win. And when we get into this season, what I'm really interested to see is how he translates what he's done with the Olympic team and moves it over to what the Suns are going to need him to do, because obviously he's going to need to score a little bit more than he does with the Olympic team, obviously, because he just doesn't have the plethora of athletes and scorers around him with the Suns. But he does. He can take a lot away from that and really provide an example of where this team can go if everything really goes right and functions at a high level, i.e. Bradley Beal playing at a high level, Kevin Durant playing at a high level, himself playing at a high level. He's just a very cerebral player. And I don't think a lot of people really recognize that about Devin Booker. They just pigeonhole him as a scorer.
Yeah, but I will say this, Saul, and you mentioned, he has to score. I don't think he has to score like he did last year. I don't think KD has to. If they want to win a title, okay? Now, if they want to win the title by repeating what they did last year, both scoring about 26, 27, then I just don't know if that's going to work. And here's why. I had Mark Bartelstein on my radio show yesterday, Sirius XM NBA Radio. We're on today from 11 to 2, that is, Pacific time. But you get that little plug in.
There you go.
If you're on the East Coast, it's 2 to 5. But had Mark Bartelstein, super agent. He was my agent as well. One of the best agents in the game. But he is the agent of Bradley Beal. And I had him on the show yesterday. And here's why Devin has to continue what he has done in the Olympics in regards to relenting. Because, as Mark said, he says, and he was correct. He said, Eddie, look, He said, you got to understand something. Brad dealt with his injuries, the freak injuries he had during the year in the midst of trying to adjust to KD and Devin, in the midst of trying to play a position that he's not familiar with to that kind of level. He was a scorer just like those three. And then actually trying to be that third wheel instead of that first wheel. Now look at all those adjustments Bradley Beal had to make. And he says he's healthy now. He's really focused. He's excited about not having to have that responsibility that he had last year and just be himself.
Yeah.
And so if that's the case, and I said that all last year, if that's the case, then Devin doesn't have to score 27.
No, very true. Very true.
KD doesn't have to score 27. Tyus Jones can score. Like, you would like to think Bobo off the bench will get more touches in this system. So you got a lot of guys that can score the ball. Grayson Allen going to get his looks. So because of that, you don't need to. Like, Boston won the title, man, because all those guys gave up parts of their game. They did. Drew Holiday can score 20 a game if he wanted to, but no. Derek White can go get 15 a night. Al Horford could take more shots, but no. They relented to Tatum and Brown and then Porzingis. So that's what the Suns have to do. And so it's going back to Devin. That's what he has to continue to show leadership in, into allowing and giving Brad that opportunity to really be aggressive because they're going to need him. And they're going to need the best version of the guy that led the league in scoring in 2 years in the NBA, in Brad Beal. So that's how I view it. And Devin, by his maturity that he's shown over the years and up until now, I think he sees that because, although Tatum, is going through it, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit, but, he's the only one sitting over there with that ring.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's what Devin wants.
Yeah, I two questions for you because I'm just now realizing that we haven't done a show in well over a week, and we did not talk about Tyus Jones yet. So let's talk about Tyus Jones. Eddie, you were clamoring for a point guard, any point guard, please. Somebody walk through the door, and lo and behold, you not only got one in Monte Morris. You got two in Tyus Jones, and Tyus Jones is probably the biggest offseason surprise in the NBA right now because nobody thought Tyus Jones would end up being a Phoenix Sun. When you heard the news, what was your initial reaction? And to what degree do you think Tyus is really going to help this team kind of gel together?
I was shocked. I mean, I knew it was an opportunity because he was still sitting there. So if you're still sitting there, it told me that he's being very selective, that, money is not going to be the be-all for him in whatever team he goes to. And I mentioned it, I think, on our show, on my radio show. I said, about a week prior, it might be an opportunity to get him. And lo and behold, I don't know where I was. I look at my phone, and all of a sudden, he pops up. I just put the phone down because I was like, sometimes you get these other, these little fake sites that put stuff up, right? So I just wanted to make sure. And when I went and I saw Woj had tweeted out the real Woj, I was like, whoa, like ecstatic, because he is a pure point guard. Like when he steps on the floor, KD, Devin, and Beal, they're going to defer because he is a real point guard. Like, that's the difference. Like, when Goodwin was playing up and down when he first got his opportunity last year, they still looked at him as if, we don't know. The leadership aspect, the command on the court from your point guard is important. Tyus Jones, he was voted as like the best backup in the league for a number of years. Like, everybody knew that this kid is a starter. And so in Memphis, I thought he was tremendous. And I just felt like getting a guy like him would be huge, man. And it's huge. It's going to make the game so much easier for those three scorers, man. Yeah. They just run down the court now. Get to their spots. get open, and now they don't have 10 eyes on them. They're catching the ball on angles below the three, be able to get a dribble, get it off. I mean, it's so many good things that's going to come from this, man.
Yeah.
And Suns fans need to be ready. You're going to love Tyus Jones. And then Monty Moore's backing him up. So now you got two solid point guards that
do not turn the ball over.
Don't turn it over, can score it if you leave them. And that's what they needed, man.
Yeah.
And so, trust me, it's a lot of teams around the league not happy with Tyus Jones coming to the Suns.
You can't overemphasize how just decreasing the turnovers by 5 to 6 a game, how much of an impact that will have. And Monty Morris and Tyus Jones will have a huge impact in just that. Simple enough. If that's all they did, that's 5 to 6 more possessions a game. And how many times did the Suns have opportunities to win in the fourth quarter last year and then blow it, right? Like, I think turned it over 18, 20 times a game, right? So that's going to be a major improvement. Wow Factor in the chat says Tyus is the truth. A lot of people are excited about that. Also, Wow Factor, I don't mean to check you at all. He says, EJ, he's not the only one with the ring. Allen has a ring too. Actually, Grayson Allen does not have a ring. He's never won a championship at any level, just to be clear. He was not with Milwaukee when they won the championship. He was with, I believe, Utah or Memphis, one of those two teams. So, but yeah, I really think that's going to be a major improvement for this roster, and the accountability. Having a solid point guard usually means that you have somebody out there that's going to be accountable, because point guards by nature, as they're developing through the course of their careers in high school, college, and getting to the pros, they are, quote unquote, an extension of the coach on the floor. And they typically are a little bit more vocal, and they typically are going to try and hold guys and position guys to get into spaces where they need to get. And it's just going to be nice to have that on the court a little bit more than we had last year. So is that overrated or underrated, do you think? That aspect of just being able to make sure that guys know what the expectation is every single time down the court?
No, it's underrated. It's this is like, it's important. Did I say that correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, it's important, man. Because again, when you take care of the ball, you have a better chance to win, especially when you have tremendous scorers on your team. When you turn the ball over, that's a possession away from 3 tremendous scores. Like, so if you're just getting your shots, so I said it all last year. I said, if the Suns can get up more shots than their opponent, chances are they're going to win. That's just how I view it, because Devin and KD especially are going to get high percentage shots. And so Nurkic, by default, is going to get high percentage shots at the rim. Whoever's in there, Grayson Allen, wide open, butt naked threes. Like, all those things are going to happen when you take care of the ball.
I need that on a shirt.
And
wide open, butt naked threes.
It's always, it's the most beautiful part of the game is when you know that you walk into a game and you're going to get more possessions than your opponent. That right there puts you in a pristine position to win. And again, 49 wins last year, people. 49, 8 games behind the best record in the West. 8 games. That's it. How many games did they blow last week? Think about it. Up a bunch, blew them. It had to be 10, a dozen, maybe.
Yeah.
And then the fourth quarters. Like, just think about that. Just think about where they would have been based on everything they went through.
Yeah.
And now you add a Tyus Jones. You bring in a Monty Morris as a backup. Like, you keep Bo. And I tell you, like, I'm so glad they kept him. Like, he wanted to stay. Because that kid was improving. And I think under, the new system, I think he's even going to expand his game more. And so, and Grayson Allen is tremendous. So there's just so many parts around him with Royce O'Neal and Okogie and the role that he plays. It's like so many Plumlee. Talking about energy.
Yeah.
You talking about high energy? Like, that's what we need. So I'm excited. I was excited last year, so people can push back on me. You said that last year, and rightly so. I was probably more excited, Saul, because I was surprised at what they were able to do in pretty much one day. With the limitation of the salary cap.
I will back you up on that because this is where the difference is between last year and this year. Last year, I was excited, but admittedly, we had a lot of guys that had maybe one good season, like one standout season, in order to be excited about bringing them to this organization.
Right.
Whereas this year, I feel like when the caliber player we've gotten, they've done it more consistently over the course of their career, 3, 4, 5 seasons. So I feel like the stability and the consistency is there to be excited about more so than last year. So I agree with you. I was excited last year too, and then obviously everything just kind of fell apart. This year, I just feel like they have tremendous depth all of a sudden. I feel like they have tremendous consistently across the board at every single position. They have set themselves up in a very, very, very good way.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Plumlee has started in this league. Tyus Jones has started in this league. Monty Morris has started in this league.
Yep.
Last year, that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
All those guys were pretty much role players. And that's going to be the difference. And then, obviously, KD and Devin have proven to be the chameleons of USA basketball. They have adjusted the best. KD didn't even practice. Says a lot about his character, right? And being ready to play. Didn't even practice. Put him in the first game, look what he did.
Yeah.
Like Devin, he could be trying to take all the shots. He could be in competition with Anthony Edwards. Think about this. All these great players on USA basketball has deferred to Anthony Edwards, and he talked about that he was going to take a bunch of shots even before it started.
He did.
Right? And they have allowed him to do it, because they could push back. But you know what? That dude's relentless, man. He is so good. He is relentless. And they have, deferred to him. Go ahead, young fella. Similar to the Dream Team, when Bird and Magic and all the great ones they had on there allowed Charles to do it.
Yeah.
And so, I applaud the adjustment, but Devin and KD have really been, held up as trophies in regards to international basketball, and that how they've been able to adjust their games away from their main game.
Yeah.
And it's been really good.
For sure. You can be a part of the Inner Circle by joining the Inner Circle, downloading the Inner Circle app, I should say. Become an Inner Circle member, save yourself up to 25 cents off per gallon for the first 5 fill-ups. And on top of that, you get 5 free drinks, beverages, snacks, the whole 9 yards. You can also save money on those drinks once you've used your 5 free ones, 79 cents for any Inner Circle member. And if you use your Inner Circle app and plug in your phone number, you'll actually decrease that from 79 cents to 69 cents, which is always nice. So make sure you download that Inner Circle app. They have all types of deals, all types of specials. Hell, about 2 months ago, they had a big fuel day where I think we saved 30 or 40 cents at the pump. That one day, it was fantastic at Circle K. They're always hooking up people. They're always hooking up the community. So check it out. You can drink water, whatever you want to do there. EJ.
No, I stopped at Circle K. I got me a pop.
You got your little I used to call them Polar Pops, but it's called.
I got a little Polar Pop.
There you go.
With a little vodka pop in it.
Oh, don't drink after you buy that. Just wait till you get home to do that first, folks. But Circle K.
Just kidding, people. I don't.
And maybe
drink.
wait till after 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
I don't drink.
It's a little early.
Early
in the morning for this. On the golf course? Not even on the golf course.
You know what? I play with dudes, man. They every time you get a birdie, they want to drink tequila.
Ooh.
And I can't.
No.
And I love the tequila that my boy brings, but man, I can't.
Oh no.
I am strictly a social drinker now, and that means I might drink twice a month.
Yeah, I feel you. That's kind of what I do too. So, but again, download the Inner Circle app. Enjoy yourself. Make sure you do that today. Terms and conditions do apply. See show notes for details. We also have some tremendous events coming up. We have tailgates going on for the Cardinal season. We have watch parties going on at Gila River for every road game.
You gonna invite me?
Yeah, you can come out. It's open. It's open to
Oh,
the
you
public.
cooking? No,
It's open to the
is
public.
it like I understand.
Are you coming to my?
Are you going to invite
I'm not
me?
gonna
You
come.
gonna,
No,
you
you
cooking?
almost
Do I
said
need to
it.
say it the
You
way I
almost
said
said it. I feel like now since you almost said it, you have to say it, but then explain it.
Are you gonna come to my meat party next Sunday? I neglected to send you the invite. I probably should have, but I'm cooking for the whole squad here. I do this annually. Last year, I invited the whole squad to the house.
Say rib party. Why you invite me to your
It's
steak
brisket.
party?
It's brisket. It's ribs.
I know, but
it's the whole 9
your
yards.
steak brisket party.
Well,
Call it a pork party?
Shane affectionately called it the meat party, and it's just kind of stuck.
No, well, this didn't sound right.
I know it doesn't sound right. I listen. I'm not a fan of it either. But the guys here, everybody in the shop
I'm not
like
a big meat eater though. So
I mean, you could dabble.
every now and then I dabble.
Also, don't sleep on the sides, man. My sides game is fantastic.
Your what?
My sides game.
What the heck is that?
The sides, like potato salad, all the sides.
Man, look,
man.
I'm 65 years old, man. Speak damn English to me, man. Hey, you sitting up here 50-something years old talking like
50 years old? I am not 50 years old.
Talking like you freaking...
Come on, man.
Talking like you freaking like 18 years old. And I know you went to Arizona when you were 35 and you blended in with the kids.
I did.
But,
that was only 9 years ago.
Catch up, man.
You need to catch up, man.
Catch
Are you?
up.
Would you like to come out? You can bring the missus.
When is it?
It's next Sunday.
You want to bring your wife to my meat party?
Where is it going to be? Where is it going to be?
It's at my house.
Oh, it's at your house?
Yeah. You got to come to the south side. So, if you want to come over to the hood.
I got to see if my security detail is working.
Anyway.
People not too happy with EJ lately. So.
Some people would say that my barbecue is gold medal status. Do you think the Team USA will win the gold medal?
They better.
No, they should.
They better. It's going to be a tough game today. Even though they've beaten Serbia by 25, 26, whatever it was, in 2 games they played them, it's going to be a different game
Serbia
today.
has not shot very well from 3
Still
in both
be
those
a different
games.
game today.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be a tough one for them. I think this one's going to be more tougher than the gold medal game because of Jokic.
Okay.
Yeah, because of Jokic. They'll heavily feature him. And Embiid didn't practice yesterday, ankle, and but I'm sure he wants to play, and I'm sure he wants France to probably beat Germany. I don't know what that score is. We were watching it, but can we get an update, Eric? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they should win the gold medal. I do think today is going to be a little bit different. Go ahead.
2-point game, 51-49 France with 2:31 left to go in the third.
Okay. All right. 2-point game. There we go. Yeah, I would agree. I think today's game is going to be a little closer than I think people realize, just because I don't think Jokic will sit out nearly as long as he had against Team USA the first time, or the first time in the Olympics. They had played before that. They are 2-0 against Serbia this year. But I think this will be a vastly different game. I also think Serbia won't shoot as poorly from 3 as they had been. So those 2 things alone can change the dynamic of the game. But I do think Team USA should handle this game. They should win by double digits. I just think it'll be a little closer for the duration of it. And then on top of that, yeah, I would love to see them play France, because I would love to see them beat the French on their home court. I think that'd just be dope.
Yeah, and the way they're treating Joel Embiid. Look, I mean, you can get on Joel Embiid for not being in great shape. Dude had all kind of injuries after the season. I'm sure he didn't do much other than try to rehab. And he's shown up to USA basketball not in pristine shape. I get it. A lot of guys aren't in shape. Jamal Murray doesn't like his name is Jamal Murray anymore. Then, obviously I think Tatum is a little bit out of shape, even though he doesn't look out of shape, but mentally out of shape.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of guys show up in that situation because it is the off season. So, let's face it, for three years before the Olympics again, it's the off season.
Yeah.
So we don't see that guy. So we can't critique him. And the fact that they're mad that he didn't go to France and play, I'm like, give me a break. He lived in America longer than he was in France. I don't even know if he lived in France.
Yeah.
and they're upset. Please stop.
A French team that just benched Rudy Gobert because they're playing too many big men.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want them to do?
Yeah. They're gonna have big 3 7-footers. They just didn't want them to play on the match. They probably wouldn't even play Joel Embiid. They just didn't want them to play for the USA. So there you go.
You mentioned Tatum earlier. Let's talk about Jason Tatum because he has had a rough go of it in these Olympics. The other day, obviously he gets substituted in, and it's not completely his fault, but he gets substituted in. They were up by 20 plus points. Devin Booker comes out, Tatum comes in, and then immediately Brazil goes on a run. They cut it to 9 points, and this entire Olympic experience has looked a little bit out of whack for the NBA champion. I don't know what to say about Jason Tatum. I do feel like a lot of people just want to go at Jason Tatum for whatever reason. I don't understand it. It's not like he's a polarizing figure by the way he carries himself out in the public. It's not like he has controversial takes. It's not like he has outrageous things to say. He's a pretty mild-mannered guy, pretty quiet to himself. But for whatever reason, he gets a lot of hate. And I'm indifferent to Jason Tatum. I don't like his style of play, but I don't think he's a terrible basketball player by any stretch of the imagination. He's a phenomenal player. I just don't understand why he gets so much focus and anger towards him. It's really perplexing to me.
It shouldn't be. You've been around the game long enough. Like
they don't like us light-skinned guys, man.
Damn right.
You, that's what it is.
Put it where it is.
Devin Booker and Jason Tatum.
Put it where it is.
That's exactly where it is.
Steph
Curry.
What
yeah. Klay Thompson.
You got a lot of envious dudes.
I'm telling you.
That, you know what? Jason Tatum got that good-ass hair, too. Jason Tatum. His hair.
Yes.
Like every time I'm watching the game, my wife, that's all she talks about. God, dog, I wish I had his hair. His hair is just unbelievable. And then when he cut it off, she's like, why did he cut his hair? I said, honey, it'll grow back. Like, he just teasing you. That's what he doing. I don't like that either. He teasing you a little bit. Like, the dude, look, he's a good-looking dude. He's smart. He's quiet, as you said. He's not polarizing. And there's a lot of people out there, they wait for the moment to criticize.
They even make up moments to criticize.
It's historic. Like, look, a guy back in my day when we played, Reggie Theus, same way. Reggie Theus come around the locker room, man, and wives and girlfriends be out there, dudes be holding on to them like handcuffed. Like, don't you look at him. Like, I used to always make jokes about it.
I mean, but Reggie was a pretty dude, though. Come on now.
But I'm just saying, like, it's historic, man. It is so funny with this. Like, guys get it. I don't know what it is. People want to criticize. And this is what I would say to Tatum if I was talking to him. He needs to address his state of presence and mind before it gets out of whack. And what I mean by that is, like, everybody I believe that's breathing needs to go see a psychologist. Like, people think, oh, if you see a psychologist, something wrong with you. No. It's just a chance for somebody that has gotten an education to understand the way the mind works to help you reset yourself.
Yeah.
And it's an emotional experience. It truly is. And so, especially if you're in sports where you're being judged every day, like, you need somebody to help you reset. Now, for a lot of people, a lot of times it's a family member, it's your significant other, it could be a close friend, but they're not qualified to that level to dig real deep. Mm-hmm. Their way of helping you is, I wouldn't even talk to them. Like, he's not no good friend. I mean, they go that way. And so you'll get a lot of these guys that's how they'll react. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's not the right way. And I just think Tatum, you think about it, during the run to the finals, he was getting criticized.
Yep.
Okay, because he's Jason Tatum. He's inconsistent sometimes. He'll have a bad shooting night. I mean, that's just part of his makeup. That's not going to go away. And Tatum has to understand that that's not going to go away. because he's not a great shooter. And so because of that, he's going to have those nights. Okay, it's part of his makeup. But he's first team All NBA.
Yeah.
So, he's got to know that that's going to happen. So he struggled with that. Then during the playoffs, Jaylen Brown wins Eastern Conference Most Valuable Player. Okay, and then he had big shots. He guarded the best player on every team. Jaylen Brown did.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and then he wins Finals MVP. All right. And Tatum tried to get it at the end of that game, that closeout game.
Yeah.
Oh, he was, trying to go for it. And I didn't call him out for it. I had no issue with it. But Jaylen Brown still got it. All right. Season ends. They win the title. So that should be enough to eliminate that other stuff. But it didn't because he remembers what people were saying. He signs the richest contract in the history of the game. $320 million. This dude got. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Still not enough. So he goes to the Olympics, had a bad practice, whatever. Steve Kerr developed some kind of mindset with him. And all of a sudden, he's out of the mix. And he's a champion. And two of his teammates are playing. Matter of fact, one of his teammates, they pick up because Kawhi got hurt, and he playing more than him. Now, that's what Jason Tatum has had to go through psychologically. And you can see it's bothering him. Dude, I don't care how bad, how inconsistent a shooter at times he can be. I've never seen him hit the side of a backboard. I am telling you, mentally he's gone because he's in a group now of guys that are just like him. All NBA, all-stars. And he's in a room with them, and now he's being judged the same sort of way he judges role players on his team.
Mm-hmm.
Now he knows how it feels.
Hmm.
He knows how it feels not to play. Like on his own team, guys over there, and they're not playing, and they're down there, and they're upset. If he can reflect back and look at their faces on Boston when certain guys don't play, Hauser has a good game going, but they take him out, bring Tatum back in, and Hauser got his head down. Tatum probably looks at him and wonders what's going on with him. Now you know.
That's interesting.
Because you're going through it.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah, you're going through it. I love it when starters and guys that play well have to change and go to a role. Tom Chambers had to do it at the end of his career. He adjusted. He had a hard time.
Yeah.
Like when I got taken out of the starting lineup, started like 400 straight games, something like that, some crazy number. All of a sudden, they want to take me out of the lineup. I went through it. Because now I'm on the other side and I'm looking. And that's what Tatum's experiencing right now. And it's gotten him, man. He can't adjust to it. And then with the criticism, it's tough. So Boston is going to get somebody back this year that's going to be a little beat up mentally. And they're going to have to really try to find a way to get his confidence back up because it's not the Jason Tatum that we know.
Yeah, that's tough, man. Listen, even with Devin, with Devin, when he was kind of going through the last, it feels like a decade already, and just catching random strays left and right from random people that are outside of Arizona that don't watch him on a night-to-night basis, or, they want to keep holding on to the 70-point game and say that was a fluke and, they were forcing this and they hold it against him like it was his fault. Like, no, Devin Booker was just trying to score as many points as he possibly could because he was the only one on the court that was trying to score. And,
it's not his close. And the game got close.
Yeah,
I called the game.
And it's not his fault.
It got to within a 10-point game.
But people like to hold on to these things against these players, and it just doesn't. I don't know what it is about them that makes them a target. Like Devin Booker's the same way. You have very rarely seen Devin Booker go on social media or Instagram or, he does his Twitch stuff, but that's not an every night thing. And he's not talking crazy. He's not saying some wild stuff. He's not giving you hot takes or anything like that. He's pretty mild-mannered. So is Jason Tatum. But for whatever reason, Steph Curry is basketball Jesus, for crying out loud, the way he carries himself. He can do no wrong. Like, he just goes through life and everybody loves him that meets him. But that creates a lot of hate from some people, because envy is the worst thing for people to have when they can't touch what you have. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. To me, that's what it boils down to. They see these guys, they got the look, they got the money, they got the career that maybe people want. They're playing in one of the most high profile leagues in the world. They get all this notoriety. They have huge social followings, and I don't like it. So I'm going to hate on it. That's what it boils down to. And I will never understand that. There's not a single guy in the NBA that I look at and I'm envious of. Yeah, I would love to have millions of dollars, but I don't have that skill. And that's just what it is. And I can live with that. I never made it past college to play at any high level. It's okay, because I'm pretty happy with the career I have. I'm content with my life. But the people that are not content, they got to find something to be angry about and attack. And that's exactly, they find these people that they feel like they can attack, and they'll have a squadron of people behind them to support them in their hate. And it's just the most unappealing thing about social media and really NBA Twitter in its entirety sometimes, when they just want to be so damn toxic.
It's not, I'm telling you, it's nothing more beautiful about a guy that admits that he sucked at basketball. Like,
See?
I mean, no, it's nothing.
Listen, man, I didn't make it to the pros, but if I did make it to the pros, I'd be in the Hall of Fame.
There's nothing more beautiful about that.
That's such an interesting take.
There's nothing more beautiful about that. Hey, let me give you a line, and I'm regurgitating it because my memory is. I don't want to say about my memory.
It's failing you?
No, it is. My short term, like when I think of something and I know that I just said, okay, I got to go do this, and then like say, you can call me or you can disrupt me, I forget.
ADHD.
And
it's what
like,
that is.
I'll be like, damn, what was I thinking about? Right. So that part of my memory is gone. But my memory in regards to basketball, stats, and stuff like that, no, it's still there. So that I'm glad that's still there. But the funny part is, right, we talking about when we put Curry in that group. You can argue Curry's playing as worse as Jamal Murray.
He's shooting 25% from three.
Just as bad as Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah.
Steph Curry has not looked good. Okay. I mean, shooting poorly. I think he's shooting 33% overall, 32% from the field. That's the best shooter in the history of the game, right? And when I say best shooter, I mean all the shots, okay? And he taps out. If you rate each shot 10 points, he'll tap out as the leader, okay? He's not that far ahead of everybody, letting people think. But my point is, he's not having a good run. And no one's saying anything. Mm-hmm. You don't think Jason Tatum's not looking at that? There's levels to it, man. Yeah. And so he's got to find a way.
But you know why, though? Because Steph Curry would be the first person, if you were like, how would you assess your performance tonight? Steph Curry would tell you, yeah, I was dog shit tonight. Like, I have not been very good. He would say it, and he's vocal. And I think sometimes people want to hear you admit your flaws from time to time.
Of course he does.
And I think that's the thing.
I'm not going at Steph. I know. But
that's my point.
Of course he does.
If you're outspoken.
But people still aren't saying anything.
Yeah.
Not saying anything. Like, if Devin was struggling like that, they'd say something.
Oh, yeah. If
KD was struggling like that, they'd get on him.
Hell, Devin wasn't even struggling at the beginning of the Olympics, right. And they were coming at him.
So it lets you know how far Steph has come.
Yeah.
To where now he's broken away from that mindset of people, wanting to go at him. But he's earned it. He's earned it. I'd still, my life was on the line. I'm still taking him to shoot it. I don't care if he's shooting 10%. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I'm hoping, I'm a Tatum fan. I just love the way he carries himself. And so hopefully he can get through this, man. It doesn't carry over.
You were talking about something on social media today about some interactions you have, and you were like, it's funny how every single time I respond to somebody, they immediately back away, or they don't have anything to say, or they are surprised that I respond to them. Talking about yourself, right? And it reminds me of a quote that I literally posted on Instagram today. It said, prove your haters so wrong that they ask you for a job. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I feel like Jason Tatum's mindset should go. Is just like, you know what? You've done everything. You've won a championship. The only thing you haven't done is won an MVP. But you've done everything else in the game. It doesn't matter what everybody else says. Like, it just doesn't matter. And I hope that he's able to figure it out and get his head right. You know, because it's just, listen, I think these guys all have a gift. And they're all elite basketball players. And it's just, sometimes this petty shit is just ridiculous.
So we already said, good looking dude, got the best hair I've ever seen.
I know.
Right? Hold it.
He's got everything going for him.
Hold it. He just won a title. He made first team All NBA. He just won a title. This is what I would tell Jason Tatum. All right. And you just signed the richest contract in the history of the NBA. You're the highest paid player in the NBA. Making about $50, $55 billion a year. Why would anything? Man, if I was in that position, man.
You couldn't tell me shit.
Man. Man.
If I won the lotto,
First of all, if you win the lotto, am I going to get a quarter of it?
You know.
Because, see, I'm going to be that kind of guy. See, like, if I win the lotto, I might not give you a quarter, but.
I mean, you know.
But if I win the lotto, I'm going to, first of all, the people where I buy my tickets and I tell them, like, if you converse with me, like, seriously, I tell people, like, come find me if I win.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
We have to find you.
No, before I got the ticket. No, before I got the ticket, I'm saying.
Gotcha. Okay.
If I'm in line, like, you know how people say, good luck. I said, hey, come find me if I win. You're going to have a brand new house. Depends on what it is. Like, that's how I think.
I go the opposite way.
No, that's how I think.
Come find me. Good luck.
No. I'm about to say, he's like, come find me. I'm going to be across the country.
I am. I'm serious. I'm not going to buy you no house in Paradise Valley. You got a house. You got a couple $100,000 coming.
Oh, all right.
No, because I view that as like synergy.
Oh, yeah, I feel you.
You know?
I feel you.
And that's how I was like when I made the league. It's like I tried to reward everybody that I felt gave me synergy to be able to make it. And I've done that. You know,
I have long thought about that. Like, what would I do? So I guess this is a great segue into AITA, which is Am I the Asshole? I've seen this so many times on Reddit that I felt like we got to do this, right? So, you know, like, am I the asshole if I win the lotto? Let's just say I won $100 million. Like, I pocket $100 million off of whatever the jackpot was, right? Am I the asshole for just disappearing?
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Now, if you live in a state where you don't have to announce it and they don't know who you are, then no one will ever know.
Well,
That's
there
fine.
will be signs.
But if you're in a state where they know who you are, and you disappear.
Is Arizona one of those states?
I don't think so. I think they announced it. But no, I would be visible. I'd have some bodyguards. You know, I only got one right now.
That's my
you
biggest
never
thing.
see my bodyguard. He's very invisible. You don't see him.
Could you imagine if somebody's head just popped out like from behind the set?
No, he's close by. So anybody think they want to get a little sneaky on me, trust me, he's close by.
Espo's not stopping anything. I'm just...
It ain't Espo. You know, he's paid to stay invisible until he needs to be visible. But my point is, is that I would be visible. Initially, the first thing I would do, because you know me with my helping hands for single moms, and our event is coming up, matter of fact, I got to get my stuff to you.
I know.
Did he send you the stuff?
No.
You're going to get the stuff. It's coming up in October. Eddie Johnson and Friends weekend. We're gonna be roasting Sean Marion this year.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so
Oh.
you'll get all the information coming up here.
Shine.
We'll get you all the information. You can go to helpinghandsforsinglemoms.org and just go ahead and get your tickets now. Okay, my event, I think it's on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. Don't hold me to it, but you'll see it on the website. The poker tournament is on the 17th.
It's usually a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, the golf is on the 18th, and then our roast event of Sean Marion's on the 19th. And so everyone knows that I'm highly involved with that. I've raised a few $1 million to send moms to school, make them the heroes in their home. And so I would still stay involved there, but I would go right to the homeless, man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, if I won the lottery like that, I would do something tremendous for homeless, because I think that is the one entity that we have to start to pay more attention to. And so yeah, you can't take it all with you.
No, I know. Listen.
What are you gonna do?
Sometimes I talk out of my ass. You know that. Like,
so what are you gonna do? I can't take it all with me. You watch.
Like, I'm gonna put that shit 6 feet under. You got to dig me out.
I'm gonna prove my haters wrong. I'm taking all that money.
No, listen. Like, I've always said that I would do the same thing. I would take care of the people that are close to me. I would not announce it. I damn sure, because I know I got some relatives out there that I have not spoken to in about 20, 30 years. And I just know they would come out of the woodwork talking about, hey.
They will.
Like, no, man, no, I'm not even trying to hear that.
No, that's what you do.
But what I would do is I would definitely take care of my people. I would take care of, hell, I'm telling you this, I know exactly what I would have done. If I won 100 mil, like, people would show up to work and the doors would be locked. And I would give them the address, and they'd show up to a whole brand new studio. The whole thing would be hooked up. Like, we'd have all the best of everything, right? Like, that's
personal thing.
It,
but what
like,
you gonna
I'm
do
trying to
for
take care of my
them?
people, man.
That's
like,
you can fire them.
We're gonna
pay
pay
off all their, to a new studio. You can fire them next week.
We're gonna pay off all their debts.
What are you going?
We're gonna pay off all their debts. What's wrong with that?
No,
Eddie, let him cook.
Like,
let him cook. Let him cook.
Pay off all their debts. Maybe give them a vehicle.
Okay, you pay off all their debts. Okay, you pay off their debts.
So if you have a house, it's paid off.
Oh, that's nice.
What's wrong with that?
That's nice.
You know what I mean?
Like, but what you do is you take about, you walk away with 100 million, you take 10 million, 15, put it in an annuity. You keep the principal.
You're getting too deep on this.
No, I'm just as simple. You keep the principal, and then you just let them have the interest. So they're getting a check every month, but you still kept your principal. Okay. So. Right. You really didn't give your money away. You just giving the interest away.
I like that.
There you
go. All right. Well,
now let's all hope.
Let's all hope.
So how much of that interest I'm going to get? I don't want you to look at me like, well, Eddie, you got it. No, I don't.
No, man. Listen.
I'm not ashamed to admit this because I played in the NBA and I love my career. Do you realize I played 17 years in the NBA? Okay. And I think I made maybe 14, 15 million. It's not right on Basketball Reference. So my total career earnings in the NBA was probably anywhere from 13 to 15 million.
That's less than a third of a season of Jason Tatum.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
My first few years in the NBA, I almost made more money on my shoe contract than I did on my salary.
I believe it.
I made $65,000 and I made, I think, $50 on my shoe contract because I had a contact, So that was it.
The funny thing is,
and then they took that away.
The funny thing is like I've never. Maybe it's just because of who you are, right? Like I've never thought of you as like a millionaire. Like I've just never viewed you like that. I viewed you as Eddie Johnson, the former basketball player, now analyst, and
I'm not a millionaire.
Now a friend. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not a millionaire.
Oh, that's fine. Like that's irrelevant to my point. My point is that like I just like you. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because I don't flaunt. I don't flaunt. I'm not wearing expensive jewelry around you. I'm wearing good jewelry though.
He's wearing. He's also wearing those Italian suits that you get hooked up with those.
Let me tell you, I have not purchased a suit in 17 years.
Lucas, there ain't nothing wrong with that, man.
I got about 50 suits. Like look, if you 6'8" out there, all right, and you know, you see this, right? 6'8", but I'm still a little ripped. Still a little ripped. All right. Belly ain't that ripped, but belly, I'm about an 8-pack, but that's fine. But you gotta be, I got a suit for you because I don't keep all my suits. So if you got a kid out there that's 6'8", DM me.
Hey,
DM
Jacob
me
Franklin looks like he can fit the bill.
Yeah, you could.
You got a suit for you, Jacob.
What size shoe you wear?
What size shoe do you wear?
14.
Okay, you could probably slide into a 15 every now and then.
Yeah. Look at that.
I got a couple pair of dress shoes for you.
There we go.
Right.
How about that? Like,
no, seriously, I got you covered.
As a great gift. There you go. Lucas LaFontaine says, I make $65K as a technician, smirk and then laughing. Bro, that's a great living. Like, that's good money. Like, I mean, listen, man, I just think that everybody out there that's grinding to make a paycheck, that has gotten to that point where they can live comfortably, they're not living paycheck to paycheck.
Money don't make you happy.
Like, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. Like,
it makes you comfortable. So you want to be comfortable.
Yeah, you want to be comfortable.
But it does not make you happy.
No.
Like, and I know people's like, oh, it'll make me happy. Yes, because you don't have it yet. But if you have it, it's almost like when you get a new car. You get the new car and you washing that sucker every freaking other day. You're out there shining it, looking at it. You even want to drive it. You'll get up at 2 a.m. just to go drive your new car. Right? Because it's new.
But then.
Right? But after a month goes, a month and a half, you ignore it. I ignore my car like no other. I haven't washed that thing but twice, I think, this year. Don't care. I'm not a car guy. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I got one vehicle. I used to have 2 or 3. I only got one. I'm not into it anymore. I just like to just play golf, win your money when I can.
Yeah. Well,
talk junk.
I feel you.
Have fun.
Lucas, brother, I'm in the same boat. Hey, listen, hey, man, the light is at the end of the tunnel, and I can't wait. So my kids are about to graduate. They're going into their senior year.
Can't wait for what?
And going into listen, man, I pay child support. You know what I mean? Like, when we get to 25, man, it's, listen, man.
Let me tell you something, dude.
Hey.
Let me tell you something.
So,
man.
Listen, man. Before you go to where you're about to go, and we don't really have time for you to go where you have to go.
No, you don't know where I'm going.
No, because you have to get to your show.
I know.
It's 10:20.
That's fine.
We have to go.
But it's not 10:17.
Okay.
He's got 3 minutes.
I'm going to tell you something right now. Seriously, so you know. Baby mama, it don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They're never leaving. You're always going to be going in your pocket, especially if you love
for the kids?
If you love your kid.
No, of course.
So
of course.
It's never going to change. Do you know how much money I spent to send my daughter to school?
Oh, yeah, I know. I got you.
To USC.
I know.
And she had free offers. She had scholarships to go to other schools. Every time I think about that. So you all can look. I'll tell you. $250.
Listen, in the eyes of the government,
$250, and I ain't talking about $200.
I'm off the hook at that point, but I'm always going to take care of my kids. I still do. Hell, I got a 25-year-old that just got his first job out of college, and I still know I'm going to be paying for shit for him for forever, right? That's just what we do as parents, and we love them. So anyway, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Later.
We'll see you next time.
Be nice to me on Twitter, everybody.
JumpShot8. Saul_Bookman on Twitter, Instagram. Follow us and follow the show, PHNX_Suns. We have some really cool shit later on this afternoon with PHNX Suns. Also next week, we got a major interview, so you're going to want to check them out next week on Tuesday specifically. Until next time, we love y'all. Say hi to Eric. Peace.